Hello everybody, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor, and we're here outside of Enhanced Drilling's booth at the 2024 Offshore Technology Conference in Houston, Texas. And with me right now is Bernt Eikemo of Enhanced Drilling, and we're going to be talking about Enhanced Drilling's EC drill system. You see this giant pump behind me, that's kind of the heart of the system, but we're going to talk a little bit more about all the little details that you need to know about it and how it's sort of helping the industry. So Bernt, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Stephen. Just a pleasure.
So, I mean, we see this pump, and I know that's one component of this system, so I'm sure our viewers out there are going to want to know what is this EC drill system? How does it all work?
Yeah, this pump, the subsea pump, is the heart of the system. The EC drill system is a controlled mud level type MPD system. That means that we can change the bottom hole pressure or manipulate the bottom hole pressure as we drill along.
Okay, so you're talking about this in the world of MPD. What kind of makes this system unique to some of the other offerings that we might see in MPD?
Okay, so our competitor is the surface back pressure type MPD system, where you put a rotating control device in the riser and then you put back pressure on. So you typically have a low weight mud weight and then you add pressure as you need it. We do it the opposite way. We use overbalanced drilling fluid, and then we take away hydrostatic pressure. So this pump is evacuating the riser as we go along. So that's the difference. While surface back pressure is moving the pressure curve to the right, we move it to the left. And it's a totally open system, and that's the strength of this system. It's open, so you can trip in and out freely, and you don't have to circulate in new mud weights. You can drill your whole well with the same mud weight.
Interesting that you talk about the openness of the system. How does that kind of help users in MPD in a way they couldn't be helped before?
Yeah, so both systems can drill very narrow margin and keep a constant bottom hole pressure as you're drilling. So when you are dynamic, we kind of reduce the pressure to compensate for the ECD, and when you are static, we increase the pressure. Both systems do that. But when you drill the well and you're finished and you're going to run your casing, for instance, then if you have a surface back pressure system, you will have to get a new mud weight into your system, and that takes a long time. We have an open system, so you can start running your casing and you can actually use the system while you're on the casing. That means you can maybe trip in faster because we can take down the level, and that way we can compensate for that surge effect that you get when you are putting a big pipe into a quite narrow well.
How long has the EC drill system been available?
Well, we drilled the first well with a system like this in the Gulf of Mexico 12 years ago, believe it or not. So the adaptation has been quite slow, but now we are on 3 rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's kind of getting some momentum.
Now, I know there's only so much you can say, but what have we seen from this implementation in the field? What are your customers kind of saying about what this is allowing them to do?
Well, let's see on the well. The first thing, they have typically used what we call the dual gradient effect. That's when you are tilting your pressure curve so that you can actually have a pressure curve that's more aligned with the natural pressure curve in your well. And that means you can possibly take a casing spring out of your well design. That's huge. That's a lot of money saved. And also it can give you, if you plan your well properly, you can have a bigger pipe into your pay zone, your reservoir. So it can increase your production, it take away costs from your drilling, and of course in this day and age it can also save CO2 by making the drilling faster, putting less steel in there, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so I'll ask this question then, and maybe we're talking about your system and how it's working out in the Gulf and everything. But compared to surface back pressure, what kind of negatives, what are some of the challenges with this EC drill system compared to surface back pressure?
Yeah, we are back to this is an open system again. So if you have an influx, you kind of have a problem. You can't circulate it out easily. So that's why we introduced the EC drill dual MPD, where we have a closure device in the riser that is relaxed normally. We don't use it unless we are in a situation where we have an influx. Then we can close that and we can circulate out an influx. And we've done that on a couple of occasions since we introduced this new system around mid-year last year.
So that's sort of the new addition that we're seeing to the system that's been out for the last 12 years. We're sort of helping mitigate that particular issue.
That's correct, and currently there are 2 rigs with that EC drill dual MPD in the Gulf of Mexico as we speak.
I'm sure there'll be more to come in the future, right?
That's the plan.
Well, Bernt, thank you so much for telling us about this system. It's great to hear more about it. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.